Hey everyone, Blockchain Bernie here, episode 394, the Dutch auction secrets unveiled in this video. All right, so this is the Dutch auction for the Xandium P nodes. Xandium is the scalable storage layer for the Solana chain and other chains. We're multi-chain, we're going multi-chain, so that's also a piece of news today. And 49 more P nodes are being auctioned off in a Dutch auction now. By the way, we will be launching our first public prototype, fully functional prototype. It is dubbed the Munich release, and it's going to be released any moment now. We have 136 P nodes have already upgraded to the latest Munich version. We need 150. Until we launch Munich, we publish the developer documentation, and we put the demo app live, which is an FS on chain. It's the file system on chain. It's a little file explorer, and anyone can try it out. What Xandium actually means, it's a file system on chain or connected to the chain, supervised by the chain, and it's super innovative. Nobody has ever done this before. And we will be an exhibitor next month on a blockchain event named Rare Evo. It's happening here in Las Vegas, right in our backyard. We have a booth there. We're super excited to talk to other chains, not only to Solana. We're still focused on Solana, but the whole solution, as described in the white paper, is deployable on any other blockchain. So let's see how what other blockchains think about our solution. And we're going to do that August 6th through 10th, I believe, Verena, right? At Rare Evo. So we're going to have a booth there and everything. So Dutch auction. So Dutch auction means we have sold 300 P nodes in the Deep South era before. So only 251 have ever onboarded, right? So there were 49 that were not even as engaged enough to even onboard their P node, right? Out of the 251 that have onboarded, only 136 as of right now have upgraded to the latest Munich version. So that is, 136 out of 300, right? So here is the good news about that. If you can get a P node or more P nodes in this upcoming Dutch auction, chances are you can make a lot of money because we have that storage income formula. And I talked about that in my past video. It's up here. You don't see it right now when you watch it live. It will be added like a few hours after this video goes live, and you will see that link there when you watch it a little bit later. In that video, I explained the STOINK. So STOINK is the storage income that you can make with your P nodes, and that's why you do it. You don't do it for these little rewards that you get every month, like 10,000 XAND or something like that. That will just be a compensation for your efforts and maybe for your hosting expenses and stuff like that. But you don't do it because of that. You do it because you are the Xandium storage layer. When you run a P node, you are a part of it. And you can determine what big of a part you are. You can determine that by providing more storage, by buying more P node licenses, by getting these coveted NFTs that I talked about in the STOINK program, right? So, and this video here, I'm going to reveal the details. And by the way, I have the live chat open, so feel free to ask questions. Feel free to ask questions about airdrop too. You always do that. and I have the questions here right in front of me. So if you want to say hello or anything, yeah, feel free to do so. So with all these details, they haven't been revealed before. So I'm doing that in this video here, right? So here's how the Dutch auction looks like. No, this is not the Dutch auction. This is just Bernie in a different angle. All right, let's show the Dutch auction. All right, and here's the Dutch auction. See that here? All right, so we have the Deep South era P-Note auction, right? And 300 were already sold. They don't have any NFTs, right? They bought their P-Nodes early on. They are also Deep South era P-Nodes. So they have all that boost factor that is associated with the Deep South era, right? But on top of that, right, the ones that get the Titan NFT, they have a boost factor of 11 compared to the other Deep South ones, right? So they get the Deep South boost factor, plus they get a factor of 11. That is 1,000% boost forever when the storage layer is there. And all the incoming storage fees will be distributed to all the P nodes. You will have a factor 11 more than the others. And if you wait until the South era, right, then you even have less because you have a lower era factor and you don't have the boost factor, right? And, you know, given the fact that very little, you know, a low number of P-Node operators are really engaged updating their software, it seems like they don't really care about the storage income that they can make. If you do care, you know, getting this Titan NFT here is kind of the last chance to position yourself as, you know, funneling a huge share of the storage income that is being paid by apps later on. So each of those apps pays transaction fees. They pay storage fees to retain the storage and all these things. 94% of these fees that the apps pay will go to the P nodes. And then there will just be a distribution formula, right? And you will have a boost factor of 11 in addition to the high boost factor of 16 that the Deep South era gets, right? So 11 times 16, that's almost, you know, 170, 180. What is that, 172 likely? Something like that. So it will be a huge, huge boost factor. And you can just claim your space there as an early P-Node operator, as a Titan or a Dragon NFT holder. And you will be advantaged so much about the ones that come later, right? The ones that come later, they will already see the storage rewards coming in from those dApps, right? Then everyone wants to have P-Nodes, right? So then it's easy, right? For you, you are watching this now. You have been watching this for weeks or for months or for years. I don't know. You've been following us for a long time. If you believe this whole model is going to work and there will be storage fees in Sol coming into the storage layer distributed to the P nodes, man, what can I say? Then this Dutch auction in the Deep South era, giving you that full Deep South boost factor of 16 times this factor of 11 here if you do the Titan. So, and now what I haven't revealed before is the actual pricing, right? So this is the Dutch auction at hour 0. It starts with 4,900 USDC plus 490,000 ZAND, right? You need both. You need both. Our P-Node store will get both, will pull both from your wallet, and I can give you a sneak peek of the P-Node store as we have it right now. It looks like this here, but I'll get back to that later. So, and then hour 2, you still get so after 1 hour, you still get the Titan NFT, giving you still that same boost factor of 11, but the price has gone down. So now you may ask, why should I buy here for 4,900? I can just wait an hour and get them for 4,410. That's, of course, very, very valid. The only reason you buy this early is like you have a risk that all 49 might be gone, right? And it could be just one wallet that buys all 49, right? And I know that's a little bit unsettling for people that don't have the capital to buy like 49 of these here, and then there could be someone that snatches them away from them, right? That is called capitalism, guys. and it helps us to raise funds, right? I understand it's like, okay, I want some also, and I all understand that. So that's why this is a Dutch auction, right? And we will see if nobody buys in hour 0, then of course you can buy in hour 1. And if there's only 3 sold in hour 1, then you can wait until the dragon here and still get a boost factor of 4. But 4, hey, that's less than half of 11, right? Keep that in mind. So it's likely best to get the Titan ones, right? and then we will see. You know, I don't know either. It could just be everyone's waiting until they get really cheap in the end. I have no idea, right? It might also be they go away all during the Titan phase, right? And I've never actually conducted a Dutch auction, so it's just as exciting for me and for Xandium Foundation and everyone as it is for you. And we don't know what's going to happen, right? I just wanted to try that. People have advised me on doing it in a Dutch auction with falling prices rather than increasing prices. And Dutch auctions usually work well when there's limited supply, right? We only have 49 of those that will be auctioned here. It's a relatively small number. And we will see what happens. I don't think there will be one whale that's snatching them away for everyone. Even though, you know, for us, the number one goal, right? And the proceeds of all this will likely go into the foundation, and part of that will come back to labs, so labs can develop all the software, but it will go into the foundation. And and the foundation needs to raise funds, right? It's about 2 years that we sold any nodes or something like that, and we need to raise more funds just to keep developing this fantastic thing. And it's taking shape. The Munich release is there. I'm also especially proud of the Herrenberg release, so you will see a lot of stuff there. We will have a lot of stuff to do to develop for the community, so we will have those projects on Super Team Earn for doing like the storage income calculators. And then in Herrenberg, all the P nodes will have an RPC interface, so we can call the P nodes and query their performance, query their version, their IP address, and we can make a nice website where people can see all the P nodes, compare them with each other, and then later on make the decision on where to stake their XAND. So that's all being developed. The Herrenberg release will already allow that. So I'm super proud of that one. And that one is, you know, it took us longer than expected to launch the Munich because we wanted to have everyone upgrade, and that takes some time, right? It's like it's been 2 weeks, only 136 have actually upgraded to the Munich release. Maybe they don't watch the videos, they don't care about that stuff, or they just bought them because it's fun to buy them, but they don't want to earn some income later with the storage income. I don't know, right? So the thing is, that's good for you, right? If you know that of the P node licenses that we've sold so far, that's probably going to be in the end maybe 20%, 25% that will really be engaged, that will be keep running their P nodes. And it's the same, you know, I bought a helium miner like years ago, and I still have it here. And then I moved from San Diego to Las Vegas, and I never found the time to to put it up here. And if you're not 100% interested in these projects, it's tough to be super engaged and stay there and stay in there. But that's good for you. That's so good for you because the Dutch auction is coming and you can get one of these. So let me scroll down here. We have 12 hours of Dragon, as I mentioned. So at the end of Dragon, we're at 1,500 USDC plus 153,000 ZAND, right? That still gives you that boost factor of 4 at this point in time. Then, after the first 12 hours of the auction, we transition to the Coyote NFT. And by the way, for all these NFTs, we, of course, are doing some nice graphics design. Our graphics design team has come up with some excellent stuff. So these will be really, really cool NFTs, cooler than the ones that we've issued before. So they will be so nice. I don't show you any like drafts right now. I just want to surprise you with the NFTs when they're there, right? So they will be awesome, trust me. Okay, so Coyote, after the first 12 hours, that's 1/4 of the Dutch auction is over. After 12 hours, we're down to $1,476. So basically from 5,000 to 1,500 in the first 12 hours, right? And then you still get the Coyote NFT, which still gives you a 2.5 boost factor in the storage income for the rest of all eras, right? Up until the North era, you will earn 2.5x as compared to others, right? Plus the 16x factor that the Deep South era gives you already, right? So if you're really interested in running this thing and making a lot of money with it later on, you know, make sure to get a P node, some P nodes, more P nodes. There's no limit. Whether you've bought them already, there was a limit of 3. The limit of 3 is gone, right? Any wallet can buy any number of P nodes in this Dutch auction, right? So, and then from the Coyote, it goes down to, 23. So after 24 hours, half of the auction is over. We're down to just $904 plus 90,000 ZAND. And you'll still get the Rabbit NFT with the boost factor of 1.5. So now, after 24 hours, probably you went to bed at some point in time, right? So here's the thing. At some point, it's the whole Dutch auction thing is basically something like a game of chicken, right? It's a game of chicken. You could wait, but if you wait too long, you lose out, right? You know that other game of chicken with like 2 cars driving towards each other, and the one that swerves first loses, right? So if you don't swerve, you just stay there and hope the others do or something like that, then you might lose out, right? And then at some point you go to bed. When you wake up 8 hours later, we have 8 more hours. The price has come down substantially, but it might have come down enough for other people to snatch all the remaining P nodes, right? So that's the whole principle of the Dutch auction here, right? And then after 24 hours, the name of the game is called Rabbit. We have the Rabbit NFT, and it still gives you a 1.5 boost factor. And then we move down, and then after 36 hours, so that ushers in the last 12 hours of this Dutch auction, we're down to $554 plus 55,000 ZAND, and you still get the Cricket NFT with a boost factor of 1.1. That's still a 10% boost. And then that's for the last 12 hours. And then after 48 hours, the auction is over. We're down to 340 and 34,000 ZAND. About what we had. It's a little it's about what we had before that. There's no NFT, there's no boost factor, and we don't know how long we leave it open here. We will see. Obviously, everyone hopes that they will be all sold by then, and we might leave it open here for this 1 hour, hour 48, and then close it after that. Right? We won't let it run forever. but we will announce that then. Yeah, so those are the secrets and the inner workings of the Dutch auction. Let me read some questions, but I will be, after these questions, after I take the live questions here, I will show you the sneak peek of the actual P-Note store. It's going to be quite exciting. It's not ready yet, but you can see a little bit. There's quite some innovative features in there, and I'll show it to you live. But let me do the live questions here first. Health, wellness, faith. Good day. Hey, Bernie. Michael. Hola, Bernie. Hola, Michael. Guy Gosselin. Hi. John Beats. I made it to the live. Well, welcome, John Beats. As far as I remember, never seen you in any live session. Glad to have you here. Wary Sump, hey Bernie, hey Wary Sump. Ed Rise, Van Halen, everyone wants some elbow cuff. Okay. Cornell, it's a real auction and time matters. Yeah. It's called a Dutch auction. I just read about it. I don't even know why it's called a Dutch auction. So maybe some of you wants to research a little bit, do a little bit of web research or AI research. And if you know some answers on why it's called a Dutch auction, just let me know in the comments here. We can discuss it, right? And speaking of comments, of course, please give that video a like if this is some information that you want. Subscribe to my channel to not miss out on any future content like this. Give us all the comments down there. The most important ones are the comments, and we prefer comments that you really think about, not these like, hey Bernie, great content. We appreciate those as well. It helps the YouTube algorithm. But somehow we'd love to have real engagement, right? So write us some real questions or comments or stuff like that. And yeah, there is still the points program for all of that, for liking my tweets, engaging with my tweets. This is a live stream on X as well, and I'm just looking at it right now. So we have almost twice the live viewership on X now than we have on YouTube. Look at that. Who would have thought that? So, and you can collect points for all that. It's points.zandium.network. Collect all your points there. Airdrop number 2 is around the corner. And the more that I think about it, about this Dutch auction, people will need some ZAND to buy P-Nodes in the Dutch auction. So there might be some demand for the XAND token that will be bolstering the price. So the price will likely go up, as we've seen in the other P-Node sale. And if we do the airdrop at the same time, it might be, evening things out a little bit, right? Otherwise, we have that price increase when everyone wants them for the Dutch auction. But then it might go down again when we have the airdrop and people sell some of those airdrop recipients sell their tokens. And maybe we do it kind of at the same time. I'm not sure, just an idea. We'll discuss it internally in the team. Okay, back to live questions. It's a real auction and time matters, absolutely. Worrisome, quite interesting. Yeah, I find it also interesting. No one know what the others are thinking and doing. Yeah, it has almost something common to poker, right? Even being here in Vegas, and I got a little, lately got a little bit interested in poker while I have all these guys here in my backyard, and there's a lot of tourists here playing poker that you can kind of exploit, right? Because they don't play that well usually. But yeah, it was just an idea, and I have no time, and I'm building Zandium and all these things, but maybe someday I'll get into it. All right, but you never know what the others are thinking and doing. That's the thing, right? That's the whole principle of that Dutch auction, right? It's also called a game of chicken. If you haven't heard game of chicken before, Google it or read the Wikipedia article, what a game of chicken is, right? Okay, my voice is a little bit low. Oh, wow. Is it better now? I hope it is. Okay, so Samsung, are you going to be rated on Skynet? I have to admit, I don't know what Skynet is. Is it like a British TV network or something? I have no idea what Skynet is. Ed, you get what you give. Forget the band. Oh, it was the Van Halen thing. Yeah, I don't know. I didn't understand it, but yeah. Cornell, after one node was bought, do we have to wait until the end of the hour to buy another one? No, you can buy at any time, right? You can buy one, and then 5 minutes later, you want to buy another one, you can do it. Within the same hour. It's all there's no limitation there, right? But you need to have the funds in your wallet, right? So the worst thing would be you want to do something there, you don't know what, and then you don't have the USDC in your wallet or don't have the XAND in your wallet. So you need to fund that first, right? If you want to participate, get all that USDC in the wallet, get all the XAND in the wallet, and then if you don't get them, or if you decide, oh, I don't want to buy it, or you decide it's too expensive, you were hoping to get it for $500, but all were sold out at like $2,000 or something like that, then no problem for you. You still have your USDC and the XAND in your wallet. You can cash them out, you can sell them, you can do whatever you want to do with it, right? But you need to have your wallet funded, right? Otherwise, yeah, you can't participate. Okay, health, wellness, faith. What if you had a Titan NFT, multiple P nodes, performance, and had stake? But how do you ensure you get stake? Do you advertise to attract more stake? Yeah, great question. I think I addressed some of it in my other video here about the Dutch auction and the Stoink formula. By the way, I kind of love to pronounce it Stoink, right? It sounds even better. What do you guys think? I'm German. For me, the Stoink sounds very natural, but yeah, I'm not sure. And there is that stonk and stonks and stonks, and I'm not sure. I think it sounds nice. Either way, so yeah, you have had a Titan NFT, and you can have more Titan NFTs, and you can assign them later on, right? All your NFTs, you can assign them to a certain P node, and the more Titans you have, if you have one Titan for each of your P nodes, obviously you get the factor 11 for all of them, right? If you have one Titan, but you own 11 P nodes, then yeah, you only get it for like 1/11 of the rewards that you would otherwise earn. But you do need stake, right? So that's great that you come up with that. Stake. Stake is the name of the game. With zero stake, even if you have everything else, you earn nothing, right? But zero stake would be crazy because you can just buy a few XAND and do some self-stake. Stake them to your own P node, right? That's an easy way to have some stake. But in order to get a lot of stake, right, you should apply with the Xandium Foundation Delegation Program, XFDP. So as you know, the XAND Foundation owns, I believe, over 1 billion XAND tokens, right? And the foundation will stake them to certain P nodes, yeah? And there will be criteria. So these criteria are being published in the XAND Foundation Delegation Program. And Anthony, the new director, together with some potential new team member for the foundation that we're currently working with. So the two of them are currently drafting that XAND Foundation Delegation Program. And there is a lot of XAND in the foundation, and the foundation will stake it to your P node under certain criteria. One of the criteria is you must have bought a P node license. If you do it permissionless, you won't get stake from the XAND Foundation under that program. I think that's normal, right? And you see it in every other blockchain. And and then you need to run a P node also in devnet/testnet, not only in mainnet, right? That's also clear. You might be able to run one permissionless later on mainnet, but in order to get the foundation delegation, you will need to run the devnet and testnet as well. So you're doing the right thing right now. You're running P nodes in the devnet, and the devnet will just be renamed to testnet, right? In a few months or so. So that said, you need the stake from the foundation. That means you need to have good performance. It means if you do something for the community, like, participating on our super team projects, for example, like, just some examples, building that Stoink calculator, or one of the Stoink calculators that will be out there then on the web, or building a kind of P-node analytics platform where people can see all the P-nodes. That will only work when the P-nodes got their own RPC interface, and that's already going to be the case in Herrenberg, right? And Herrenberg is done, right? It's already in the drawer, right? So, and if you do things that help the community, the foundation will delegate more to you. But you can get huge stake from the Xandium Foundation through XFDP, Xandium Foundation Delegation Program. That's going to be your friend. It's in the works. It's being put into words by the Xandium Foundation as we speak. And that's how you get your stake, right? Unless you have millions and millions of Xand on your own. That's also great. You can just do your self-stake. You can also work with less stake and just boost it with a Titan NFT, right? But yeah, you can advertise for stake. There's a Discord here. If you help other people getting onboarded and stuff like that, they will naturally stake with your P node, right? But we all understand it's not even possible yet to stake Xand to a P node. So that's also something that's coming soon, that the Xand staking that we have to the DAO right now, it's going to be changed, and you will be staking your Xand to P nodes, right? To your own P node if you have one, or to other people's P nodes. That's why we need these platforms where people see all the P nodes and can compare them. All right, so that was that question. Health, wellness, faith. Banked, I got a ticket 384, never got any answer. I can't give you the answer right here on video. So we'll look into that. Verena, can you take note of that and ping Kaveen about ticket 384? Okay. Kuku Ahmed, hey Bernie, hey Kuku. Alan, hey Alan, just found answer on Dutch auction. First used to sell cut flowers in Holland. Ah, okay. Price went down as flowers aged. Yeah, that's also true. But, then the quality also goes down, right? With these here, yeah, also kind of the quality goes down in the sense that the NFTs will go down, right? But within that 12-hour window where there's no NFT change, there's also no quality change somehow, right? It just gets cheaper, but it's just that game of chicken. If you want one of these 49, and again, this is your last chance in the Deep South era. What's happening with my mic here? Let's put it up. Your last chance, right? We have the era factor of 16. It'll go down to, I believe, like 7 or so in the South era. Plus, we have that Titan NFT. We don't know if there's any NFTs or what boost factors they will have in the South era. We just don't know it yet, right? So, yeah, one of your last chance here to get these. Then Nicolo Bent, is it? To banked, okay. I have tried to help you with those, given you answers. Okay, there may be more information. All right, so this is not a support channel here. It's a good thing people have a lot of questions, right? They are really trying to get those P nodes up and running. Do you play table tennis? Certic, Skynet? Oh, it's like smart contract auditing platforms or something? Okay. No, we haven't audited it yet because, you know, we're still in the prototype phase, and then there will be an MVP, a minimum viable product, and then about the time we go live on mainnet, we will get it audited, but not yet. I love that integration. Bernie, how long will the Deep South era boost last? The new NFTs. I thought you said until the end of the North era. You know, we will write that down in all of these articles. It will at least go until the end of the North era, right? It might even go after that, or there might be a milestone at the end of the North era, and then there will be a DAO vote for that or something like that. So that's still, you know, up for discussion. But at least until the end of the North era. A very good question, though. Okay, Nicola will help banked and worrisome. Health, wellness, faith. Thanks for the deeper explanation. That personal stake counts. Yeah, self-stake counts as well. Absolutely. And then, okay, so I promised you to give you a sneak peek of the actual P-Node store. Man, what is going on with this mic here? Because someone said it's low volume, huh? So hopefully this resolves it here. And giving you a sneak peek of the actual P-Node store. Let's look into it. So this is how it looks like. First of all, there is a music toggle button here. And don't worry, by default, it's all silent, right? But you can turn on the music. And I feel, you know, it's like a personal thing. When I play any video games or something, I do it rarely, right? Not that I dislike it, but somehow after some time, I feel like I'm wasting my time, right? So then I stop again. But if I do that, I'm always like, how can people have fun playing those games without the music, right? And this is a high stakes environment, right? These prices here that we have for the P nodes, they are no joke, right? And, you know, the risk of anyone snatching them all away at any time, it can happen anytime. That's also no joke, right? So we're in a high stakes situation, and in order to give you that real feeling that we're in a high stakes situation, we have that music button here. I don't know if you hear it in the background. Let me put the mic here. You know, there's a real music here, like in a game, and I love that, right? And then we have that here, current era, Deep South. So still gives you a 16x. We should probably write that up here, Deep South 16x. And then only 49 Deep South P nodes available in this Dutch auction. That's a small number, guys. It's only 49, right? In this example here, you see 42 are remaining out of 49. So there's 7 taken here, and 42 are still up for grabs. So if you have any feedback on this user interface here, how we can make it better, let us know right here in the comments. And then we show the current price, 601 USDC plus 60,000 XAND. And the current rewards is the Rabbit NFT, and the Rabbit NFT will be shown right here. And it's gonna look great, guys, right? It might even be a little bit larger here. And we're gonna have very, very nice NFTs here. Plus 50% rewards boost, 1.5x. That's the Rabbit rewards here, right? By the way, that's, oh, the rabbit. Yeah, which is actually not true here. If only, oh, we're already far away in the auction here. Okay, that's the rabbit one. Okay. And then we have the countdown timer here. If the music is on, you will see the click here you will hear the click of each and every second, right? And again, I feel that, yeah, anyone can decide if they want to turn on the music or no, but I just feel it's great. And it's off by default, right? So the next price is gonna be shown here then. And the next NFT is going to be shown here, right? So it's still the rabbit in this case. So you'll see rabbit and rabbit here. But, at some point it goes down from rabbit to cricket. So you might see the rabbit here and then the countdown timer and then you see the cricket down here, right? And you always have this here on your radar. And there will be live notifications when P nodes are being sold, right? So you will see the purchases that people make. You will see them flying through live here. And let's just see how this goes, right? It's an experiment. I frankly have no idea how it goes, whether the Dutch auction is a good medium or not. For us, as I mentioned, it's a fundraising mechanism, and I hope it goes well. And you will see how many did you purchase already in this Dutch auction, and then you can make your request here, how many you want to buy, and it shows you the balance in your wallet. The wallet I have connected right now has no funds in there. So you need to buy more XAND and get more USDC as well. If you click here, you're going to be taken to Jupiter where you can buy more XAND. And then you can click on that purchase button here. And in the bottom, you will see that whole 48 hours. And you can hover over each hour and see the rewards that I've shown you here in that little spreadsheet. So you don't have to pull out that spreadsheet again. There's going to be a bar down here that shows you the progress through all these 48 hours. All right, guys. So this is the sneak peek into oh, what happened here? I don't see the live chat anymore.
Click on OBS.
Oh yeah, I got it here. Now I got the live questions again. So, yeah, it encourages the adrenaline. Absolutely. That's what someone said here, health, wellness, faith. Health, wellness, faith also asking, are you able to share the start time and date of the Dutch auction calendar planning? As soon as we're able to do that, we will be doing that. We're waiting for the graphics team to get the NFTs. We're waiting for the P-Node community to update at least 150. I want to see 150 onboarded so that we can launch Munich. But otherwise, we just need to do the final touches on that P-Node store. You've seen the prototype up there, and we need to have the NFTs. Maybe we could schedule it somehow, and we'll do it. So thanks for the nudge. Yeah, we'll likely, because you guys need like 2 weeks in advance or so to do the calendar planning. Also, there's one big question, guys. What time of the day do we start the Dutch auction? That might advantage or disadvantage certain time zones. And we have people in, 3 different time zones in the US, probably in 2-3 time zones in Europe. We have people in India. And, it's all different time zones, right? If you need to sleep while there's an interesting time in that, you might be advantaged, disadvantaged. We don't know, right? Neither I nor the Xanium Foundation or anyone wants to be the one that says, oh, it was all rigged for or against these guys because you started it at that specific time, right? So I don't know. We can do kind of a vote on that, or I don't know. We can do it on Polymarket, or no idea, or people can just bid for each of the 24 hours that we could get it started, and we can raise some funds like that also. And whichever hour has raised the most funds that will be the start hour. Maybe that's a good idea. I mean, I'll just publish 24 wallet addresses for each of the 24 hours UTC. And then if you want it started in a certain hour, just send us some USDC there. And then in the end, we have a deadline, and whichever wallet has the highest balance at that time, we start at that hour. I think that's actually a great idea, right? Because I don't want to pick a time. Foundation doesn't want to pick a time. It's like it's for you guys, the community, right? If you think you want to make your bet in the first 12 hours, then probably you want it at a time where these 12 hours are something where you're up, right? We also have people in Australia, by the way, right? And Nigeria and India and Sri Lanka and everywhere, right? So it's all different time zones. If you think you want to make your bet in the last 12 hours, if at all, then you want to start it at an hour where you're awake during those last 12 hours, right? So yeah, let's do that. Let's just do it, and let kind of the community decide. And if nobody's willing to pay any money for any of the hours, and we can just, everyone thinks like we can start it at any hour, then we'll just do some random generator or something and do it at any hour. All right. Lovely music. Thanks, Warisump. I should have a calculator up this weekend so people can check. That's awesome. And Ivan, is it Ivan or Ivan? Still expensive for this stage of XAND. Yeah, I mean, and Australia, yeah, I've heard that. So you probably want it, but you can also say like, okay, I'm going to stay awake for that, but maybe you have to stay awake for 48 hours. That's a long time, right? So the hour it will start, it's, and again, I don't want to be the one that will later be accused of having rigged all this, and Foundation doesn't want to be accused of getting it rigged. So yeah, and Alan, thanks, you're just writing. I also like the idea of using UTC. Makes it so much easier to figure out the start time for my zone, and then we can have some voting, and you vote with your wallet, right? And whether you want to bet $1 or $10, and just to not bet, like pledge $10 to have it start at 8 a.m. UTC, right? And then someone else might come and pledge $100 for like 1800, so 6 p.m. UTC, right? And then we'll see what people think. And again, if nobody wants to pledge any money, that's fine as well. And then we'll just use some random generator, but that will also be tough. We need to, kind of then prove somehow that it was really random. I would really love for you guys to make the decision, right? And it doesn't have to be huge amounts, right? Maybe it plays out with just a few dollars or something. But then you guys decide, and that's the best thing to do. Okay, again, almost an hour. It was exciting. It's always great to engage with you guys also in the live chat. Nicolo, another thing here, keep some NFTs back and do a lottery. Lottery for what? Bikram, hey, you're coming late today, but good to see you again. Advanced planning is just so helpful to clear out the calendar. Great observing throughout the 48 hours. Hindero is also there. Thanks. Nicola, what do you mean by keep some NFTs back and do a lottery? So we will pre-mint all the NFTs, by the way, and then the P-Note store will transfer you these NFTs. But after all are sold, we need to mint 49 of each, right? We need to mint 49 Titans because we never know. Maybe all 49 will be sold in the first 2 hours, and then we need to issue 49 Titans, right? But we also need to mint 49 dragons because it could be nobody's getting a Titan. Everyone's waiting a little bit, but then all 49 go away during dragon time, right? So we will have to mint 49 of each, and then the P-Note store will transfer them out of a foundation wallet into your wallet when you buy them at a certain time. And then we will have some NFTs left, right? Don't know what you mean, Nicolo, with doing a lottery for selling the remaining NFTs that got left behind. I'm not sure. Oh, here. I was thinking of an alternative, especially if not everything sells, although I don't expect that. Yeah. I don't expect that either, but of course you never know, right? We had a lot of auctions. We had these node auctions in the old days with the old Xandium Classic, and it went better than I would have ever imagined. And of course, I hope this will go very well also. And we did our best to make it appealing. And unfortunately, we have to make it appealing for everyone. There is no kind of whale protection here, right? If there's people with deep pockets that want to buy a lot, they can do it. That's part of the game. That's hopefully motivating a few with the lower budget to get some as well. That's the mechanics of it, right? And I think and after some time it's gonna be gone. After 48 hours we're gonna close it. Maybe there's 1 or 2 more extra hours or something, but that's about it. And then we can move on, right? With the ascending prices going up, it's like at some point the price is so high that nobody's buying. And then things stretch out for like weeks and months, and we've seen all that, right? We don't want that. We need to move fast. We're a fast-moving startup here. We need to launch everything and launch Munich, and then after that launch Herrenberg, which will be exciting because it has the RPC interface. It has a gossip interface, so all the P nodes know about all the other P nodes that are adjacent to them. Using that gossip network, and we will be able to make these apps that show all the P nodes and compare them with each other, and we will be able to recover everything from just the P nodes, even if Atlas crashes and all these type of things, right? So that's going to be super exciting, and then Ingolstadt will be so exciting after that when we do the redundancy, which will actually make the thing more usable, right? Because without redundancy, if one P node fails while it's running and loses all its data, we kind of have an inconsistent state. We can never get the data back that was on that failed P node. So that's why it's called a prototype here at this point in time. But with Ingolstadt, it's going to be a little bit more than a prototype. We're approaching the minimum viable product then, right? And that's the next release after Herrenberg, right? So, and Herrenberg is already done internally. It's the development finished, and then we have Ingolstadt with, basic metrics, right? So we're going to give you a performance score in Ingolstadt. And then have the redundancy there, and then we're ready to move the XAND staking to the P nodes, and it's all super exciting. It's gonna be a real nice network here. We're building it in public, and we're building it with your help. It's basically community funded, so that's why we're doing these sales from time to time. Again, the last sale, you know, there was a P-Note sale, but that didn't help us that much with the income that was coming in. We hope we can raise a little bit more with this one here, and then we're going to be moving over to our demo apps and the AI app that the AI governance app that I've teased a few times here. That's going to come out, and all these things. All right, so let's have a last look at the live chat. Does it matter that I can't see my Xeno NFT in my wallet anymore? You need to try a different wallet than Phantom, right? So some of these wallets have like protections, right? If they don't know that NFT, if that NFT hasn't changed hands a lot in the last 2 months or so, they think like it's kind of junk or crap or maybe a scam or something like that. So Phantom just doesn't show it to you. If you go to Solflare or Backpack, right, and we're promoting Backpack these days because Backpack helps us to actually use the Xandium storage layer on the Xandium DevNet, right? For that, we need to be able to introduce our own RPC endpoint, and Backpack is the only wallet that can do that, and Backpack is great, right? And the founder of Backpack is Armani Ferrante. Armani Ferrante is the guy that developed Anchor, and Anchor is the early developer experience platform on Solana that I've been using back in the day when I created Node Store. It is a great tool that have helped so many developers getting started with developing smart contracts on the Solana chain. So I love Armani. If you hear this, Armani, you're great. And he started Backpack, and he has a lot of stories there because that Backpack company actually got funded with, I think, $20 million or so, and they lost that all. They lost it all in the FTX debacle. Can you imagine that? They had it all in FTX, $20 million. That was all their funding, and whoosh, it was gone overnight, right? And they couldn't get it back. So they found some other ways to raise more money, and they're still there and building great products. And one of them is the great wallet, the Backpack wallet. So get your Backpack wallet, and then you see the NFTs, and you also see them in Solflare. Maybe you also see them in the Brave wallet. I'm not sure. I haven't tested. But Phantom has some real drawbacks. You know, sometimes it doesn't show the price of Xansol. I hate that. I absolutely hate that because they feel like if it hasn't been traded for the last 60 minutes, it's probably worth nothing or something like that, right? But it's a liquid staking token. Of course, it's worth something, right? They show it most of the time in Phantom, but not always, right? If you go to Solflare or Backpack, you will always see the value of your Xansol tokens, right? So, yeah, I know I've been promoting Phantom in the past, and I'm also using it a little bit out of habit or something. But yeah, Backpack is better. I'll use Backpack, and they will show you those Xeno NFTs. So they are not gone. It's just that Phantom doesn't show them to you, right? That's all. All right. Michael, sorry, the X factor is for which kind of rewards exactly? Maybe I missed that. Oh, that's for the Stoink, Michael. So the Stoink is super important. STOINC, storage income. And that is why you run a P-Node, right? The whole Xandium is a storage layer, and the storage layer collects fees from apps, right? Once we have the apps, they pay fees to Xandium, to the Xandium storage layer in Sol, and these fees will be distributed to all the P-Nodes, right? And if you have a boost factor of 11, your share of that will be 11 times bigger than others that don't have the 11x boost factor. But hey, I've talked about all this in this video, in the beginning of this video, but also in last week's video, which introduced the Stoink, the storage income. So that's what it's all about. You should read that and understand that and ask questions if you have any about the storage income, right? That's like, yeah. Okay, that's where the potential is of running a P node here. It's not in the 10,000 ZAND a month or something, right? The potential is in you will be a part of the store. You will be the storage layer. You, the P nodes, will be the Zandium storage layer, right? And you will collect all the fees, 94% of the fees. There's that 6% cut that I talked about last time also, but 94% of the fees collected from apps will go to you, the P node operators. And the more boost factor you have, the larger the share you get, you know, given everything else is the same. There's also the stake, and there's the performance, and there is in what era did you buy your P nodes. The Deep South era all have a 16x boost factor, right? And the South era will only have like 7 or something. I mentioned all that in the last video. This is important stuff, right? So listen to last week's video and this video with all these rewards here. Okay. And Darrow, yeah, I'll look into that. You know, we're focused on building right now. Once we're done, we get all the certifications and ratings and all that kind of stuff, right? By now, we can do one thing after the other. Okay, good. Thanks, guys. It was super fun. Again, give me that like button, subscribe to my channel. Thanks so much for watching today. Engage with me in the comments. Ask all these questions because understanding the Stoink is super important. That is where all the big potential lies. And the most of the potential is for the P nodes because they get 94% of the storage income that will be generated by those apps, right? So yeah, make sure to understand that. Take part in the Dutch auction. Fund your wallet for the Dutch auction. And we will publish the date and time. Well, first we will publish those 24 wallet addresses, right? So you can vote on and which hour it's going to start. We're going to be doing that. And then after that's done, we're going to publish the date when it already starts. Or maybe we publish both, right? We could say, okay, a few days from now, here's the 24 wallets. And then maybe 2 weeks from now, I would say 2 weeks from now, why not? We can go live with the Dutch auction, right? You guys want it on the weekend or you want it on weekdays? I don't know. Any ideas? Let me know in the comments. You want it in the weekend or you want it in the week? Also a good question. Maybe we do it in the weekend. Yeah. All right. Very cool. So yeah, we're going to be publishing both the dates when the Dutch auction starts, date, and then for the time, we're going to do a vote by wallet, right? You can vote with 20 cents, right? 0.2 USDC or something, right? But do vote something because I want you guys to decide at what hour it starts because otherwise, you know, we don't want to be guilty later on, right? To say like, oh, you did on that one and the guys on that time zone were advantaged or XYZ, right? Just take a few pennies and vote on the hour that you want it starting. And I would say let's get it started on a Friday, right? So then it will be Friday and Saturday. We're going into the end of the auction on a Saturday. Does that sound good for everyone? And on a Friday UTC, I would say, right? Yeah. And then let's see where that takes us. All right. Thanks so much for watching, guys. It was fun again. Peace and catch you later.